Hello, I am Dr. Luigi. It's been quite a while, but it seems my services are required once again. This time, we'll be talking about the Japanese education system and how it differs from the American one. This is a bit outside of my comfort zone, as I typically work in the field of science, but nothing ventured, nothing gained, as they say. Let's get started. First, a quick overview of each educational system structure. The American education structure involves a year of kindergarten, 5 years of elementary school, 3 years of middle school, 4 years of high school, and then higher education, or college. The Japanese education structure involves 6 years of elementary school, 3 years of lower secondary school, 3 years of upper secondary school, the Japanese equivalent of high school, and then higher education, or university. Japan uses the word university more than college to describe higher education, though they do use both. When it comes to compulsory education, it varies state by state in the United States, but they finish somewhere between the ages of 16 and 18. In Japan, it is mandated nationwide to have an education from ages 6 to 15. This means that a high school education is not mandated by the government in Japan. A curriculum is present in both the Japanese and American education systems, and subjects such as math, science, and social studies are taught in both. The Japanese language, which is more complicated than English, is taught extensively in Japan. A major difference is that curriculums can vary by state in the United States, while Japan has a national curriculum. The American education system has a much more diverse coalition of teaching methods, and things like group work and discussions are much more prevalent. In the Japanese education system, the vast majority of work is done independently, with a primary focus on lectures, and an emphasis on uniformity and memory. In the American education system, tests such as the SAT and the ACT are common, and continuous assessments are given throughout coursework. In the Japanese education system, testing is regular, but there is significant emphasis on entrance exams for both high school and university. The entrance exam requirement for high school is part of the reason why it is not part of the country's compulsory education. The Japanese school calendar is very different from the American one. School is year-round, taking place in 3 semesters from April to March. They last from April to July, September to December, and January to March. School days are generally longer than American ones, and school weeks last 6 days, as Saturdays are school days. Extracurricular activities after school are commonplace in both the United States and Japan. Activities such as sports, arts, and all types of clubs are present in both. However, while they are voluntary in the United States, joining a club is sometimes mandatory in Japan to make up for the more independent learning environment. Teachers in Japan play more of a role in student lives in Japan. Due to students being at school for much longer than American students are, teachers become more involved in their students' personal developments. In the United States, teachers are of course still available to their students if they need someone to talk to. On the other hand, parents are more involved in the United States than in Japan. Parents participate in things like parent-teacher conferences, and can participate in other ways such as chaperoning school trips. In Japan, parents obviously support their children, but this takes place more at home outside of the institution. Discipline is important in any education system, and it is another area where the United States and Japan differ. Discipline in American schools can vary all the way down from classroom to classroom based on teacher preference. In Japan, self-discipline is more important, and students do things such as cleaning their classrooms instead of a custodial crew. It goes without saying neither system is perfect. The American education system is often criticized for how it handles standardized testing, and learning environments aren't always inclusive. The Japanese education system is sometimes thought to place too much pressure on students, and many say it does not promote creativity enough. Obviously, both systems are similar in some ways, but different in more. The Japanese education system is inarguably more rigorous, and its structure is more rigid, for better or for worse. It is also consistent nationwide, as opposed to the American education system, which leaves certain parts to the states. Overall, while neither system is perfect, comparing the two is clearly interesting and eye-opening. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you were able to learn something. While my previous endeavors have been more scientific, this has certainly opened my eyes into the world of international cross-cultural education. While I imagine my next presentation will likely be back to my roots, I would not be opposed to revisiting this subject in the future. See you all next time. Dr. Luigi out.